December 4th, 2024, 6:45 a.m. Midtown Manhattan. A masked gunman walks up behind a man in a business suit and pulls the trigger. Not once, not twice, but 3 times. In broad daylight. Outside one of New York's most prestigious hotels. The victim? Brian Thompson, CEO of America's largest health insurance company. The killer? A 26-year-old Ivy League graduate from one of Maryland's wealthiest families. And on the bullet casings left at the scene, police found 3 chilling words. But before we reveal what those words mean, you need to understand how this story connects to something far bigger than just one murder. Stay with me. The victim. Let's start with the victim, because Brian Thompson wasn't just any CEO. Born in a small town in Iowa, Jewel, Iowa, with a population of barely 1,000 people, Thompson was the definition of the American dream. He was a University of Iowa graduate who started as a CPA at PricewaterhouseCoopers and worked his way up for 20 years at United Health Group. In 2021, he became CEO of United Healthcare, the insurance division that covers 49 million Americans. Under his leadership, the company's profits skyrocketed. $12 billion in 2021 jumped to $16 billion by 2023. His personal compensation? $10.2 million a year. But here's where the story gets darker. While profits soared, something else was happening. United Healthcare's claim denial rates increased dramatically. Patients who desperately needed treatments were getting denied. Families were drowning in medical debt. People were posting horror stories online about fighting with insurance companies while their loved ones suffered. Thompson kept a low public profile. He rarely gave interviews and didn't engage on social media. He was a numbers guy, focused on profit margins, not public opinion. On December 4th, 2024, he was in New York for United Healthcare's annual investor conference at the Hilton Hotel on 54th Street. He had no security detail, no bodyguards. He just walked out of his hotel at 6:45 in the morning and someone was waiting for him. The execution surveillance cameras captured everything. A man in a hooded jacket and ski mask was standing outside the Hilton, calm and patient, like he'd been there for hours. Thompson walks past and the shooter doesn't hesitate. He steps behind him, raises his arm, and fires. The gun jams. Most people would panic, but not this shooter. He clears the jam like he's done it 1,000 times, then fires again and again. Thompson collapses. The shooter walks away. No running, no panic. He just walks away, gets on an electric bike, and disappears into Central Park. When police arrived, they found something unusual. 3 shell casings. Each one had a word written on it in black marker. Deny, defend, depose. These weren't random words. They're a reference to insurance company tactics used to avoid paying medical claims. Delay, Deny, Defend is the title of a book about insurance industry practices. The shooter changed delay to depose. This wasn't just a murder. This was a message. The manhunt. For 5 days, the NYPD had nothing. No name, no clear motive, just grainy surveillance footage of a masked man. The FBI joined the investigation. A $10,000 reward was offered, then $50,000. Nothing. Then, on December 9th, something strange happened. 300 miles away in Altoona, Pennsylvania, a McDonald's employee was taking an order when they noticed something. A customer sitting alone, young guy. He looked nervous. The employee had seen the news, the sketches, the photos. They called 911. Within minutes, police arrived. They approached the customer carefully and asked for ID. He handed over a fake New Jersey driver's license with the name Mark Rosario. Officers searched his backpack, and what they found was shocking.
Yes, sir. There you go. Can you put your mask down real quick for me? Yeah, sure. Appreciate it. Thank you. Okay. What's your name?
Mark.
What is it?
Mark.
Mark?
Yes, sir.
Mark what?
Rosario.
Rosario? Someone called. They thought you were suspicious.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Do you have your ID on you?
Yes, sir.
Thanks. I thought she looked like someone. You okay to?
A 3D printed ghost gun, untraceable with no serial number, with a suppressor. The same type of weapon used in the shooting. 9mm ammunition matching the bullets that killed Thompson. Multiple fake IDs. Nearly $10,000 in cash, both US and foreign currency. And a handwritten manifesto. The first line read, "These parasites had it coming." His real name? Luigi Nicholas Mangione, age 26. Computer science engineer from the University of Pennsylvania. Valedictorian at one of Baltimore's most elite private schools, from a family worth millions. His grandfather founded a country club empire and nursing home chain in Maryland. This wasn't some desperate criminal. This was someone who had everything. So why did he do it? The motive. As investigators dug deeper, a darker picture emerged. Luigi Mangione wasn't always angry. Friends described him as brilliant, charming, and athletic. He played soccer, ran track, and excelled academically. But in 2022, something changed. During a surfing lesson in Hawaii, Mangione suffered a severe back injury. He was diagnosed with spondylolisthesis, a painful condition where vertebrae slip out of alignment. He posted about it on Reddit, describing unbearable pain, brain fog, and inability to sleep. His entire life was derailed by chronic pain. He underwent spinal fusion surgery, a major operation where metal rods hold your spine together. His X-ray showed the hardware, screws, plates, and rods. The surgery should have helped. It didn't. Friends say he became obsessed with the healthcare system. He read books criticizing insurance companies. He followed online communities of people denied medical care. He watched as people lost everything fighting for treatments their insurance refused to cover. In his manifesto found at arrest, investigators discovered pages railing against corporate greed, healthcare profiteering, and the insurance industry's denial of care. One line stood out. Frankly, these parasites simply had it coming. He specifically mentioned United Healthcare's denial rates, rising premiums, and profits in the billions while patients suffered. Was Mangione personally denied insurance coverage? We don't know yet. His lawyers haven't commented. But one thing became clear. This wasn't a random act of violence. This was premeditated, calculated, and deeply personal. The weapon and planning. Let's talk about the weapon, because it reveals just how planned this was. The gun Mangione allegedly used was a ghost gun, a firearm with a 3D printed frame, no serial number, completely untraceable. He 3D printed the receiver, the main body of the gun, along with a suppressor to muffle the sound. He sourced the metal slide and barrel separately, likely online with no background check required. Ballistics tests confirmed the gun matched the shell casings found at the scene. But here's what's chilling. Mangione didn't just build this gun overnight. Investigators discovered he arrived in New York City 10 days before the shooting. He checked into a hostel on the Upper West Side using a fake ID. He paid cash. He kept his mask on even when other guests weren't around. On November 24th, 10 days before the murder, cameras captured him entering the city via a Greyhound bus from Atlanta. He didn't talk to anyone. He didn't leave a digital trail. He just waited. On the morning of December 4th, surveillance shows him leaving the hostel at 5:34 a.m., over an hour before the shooting. He rode an electric bike to Midtown. He positioned himself outside the Hilton, and he waited for Brian Thompson to walk out. This was no spur-of-the-moment decision. This was an assassination, planned down to the minute. The aftermath and controversy. Here's where this story takes a disturbing turn. When news broke of Mangione's arrest, something unexpected happened. Social media erupted, but not with condemnation. With support. Hashtags like Free Luigi trended on Twitter. GoFundMe pages raised thousands for his legal defense before being shut down. People flooded review sites, giving 5-star ratings to the Altoona McDonald's, ironically thanking them for catching the hero. TikTok videos praised him. Reddit threads called him a revolutionary. Why? Because millions of Americans have had their own nightmares with health insurance. Denied claims, medical bankruptcy, loved ones dying while insurance companies dragged their feet. A poll after the shooting found that 7 out of 10 Americans blame insurance company profits and coverage denials as much as they blame the shooter for Thompson's death. Let's be clear, murder is wrong. Brian Thompson was a human being, a father, a husband. But the reaction reveals something deeper, a rage simmering beneath the surface of American healthcare. Luigi Mangione's alleged actions were criminal, but the conversation they ignited, that's about a broken system. Conclusion. So, why did he shoot a CEO in front of everyone? The answer isn't simple. Was it personal medical trauma, ideological fury, a calculated political statement? Maybe all three. Luigi Mangione now faces first-degree murder charges in New York. If convicted, he faces life in prison without parole. The trial will reveal more: his manifesto, his medical records, the full extent of his planning. But one thing is already clear. This case has opened a wound in American society, exposing just how angry people are about healthcare, insurance, and corporate profits. Brian Thompson's death won't be forgotten. Neither will the three words etched on those bullet casings: deny, defend, depose. This is a New York story, where crime meets reality, where the streets tell tales that shake the nation. If you want more untold NYC crime stories like this, hit subscribe, because the city's darkest secrets are just getting started.